Imagine a room no one is allowed to enter. A room buried so deep beneath the Vatican that even most priests don't know it exists. Stone walls older than every empire you've ever read about. Sealed doors guarded not by locks, but by oaths. Oaths sworn by men who believe the fate of humanity depends on silence. Down there, in the dark, sits a prophecy that the Vatican refuses to reveal. And tonight, we're going to talk about why. Yeah, I know. Sounds like the opening to a Hollywood movie, right? Secret rooms, ancient documents, prophetic doom. But hold on, because the Church actually does admit this place exists. They call it the Archivum Secretum Apostolaticum Vaticanum, or in plain English, the Vatican Secret Archives. And before you say it, no, secret here doesn't mean classified. At least, not officially. But let's be real. You don't store 12 centuries of restricted documents, including papal letters, forbidden books, and records of exorcisms, in a fortress under the most powerful religious institution on earth, just to keep things organized. No. Some things are hidden because they are too dangerous to reveal. And among all those ancient pages, there is said to be one prophecy never meant for the public. Not the 3 secrets of Fatima. Everyone and their grandma has heard about those. Not Nostradamus. The guy basically wrote riddles for a living. Not some manuscript found in a cave that people argue about on forums. No. This one's different. This one was written inside the Church, for the Church. A warning passed down through popes in total silence. A prophecy about the end. Let's rewind for a second. Every major ancient civilization had doomsday prophecies. Mayan calendars, Norse Ragnarok, Egyptian cycles of flood and fire. Even ancient Rome, the empire the Catholic Church literally grew out of, believed civilization's collapse in repeating ages. So here's the creepy part. Legends say this Vatican prophecy doesn't predict a world ending. It predicts this world order ending. The fall of institutions, of governments, of churches, a complete reset. And supposedly, this isn't a distant future prediction. Some say we're already living through the first signs. Now, before you say, where's the proof? Fair question. The Vatican doesn't exactly have a suggestion box outside the archives saying, hey tourists, ask us about the apocalypse files. But weird crumbs exist. Former archivists whispering about documents that should never be seen. Popes speaking cryptically about storms approaching the Church. A private letter from a pope warning the world was about to enter a time of unparalleled deception. And if you think that's dramatic, wait till you hear this part. Certain priests claim this prophecy doesn't talk about demons rising from the ground, but humans turning into demons without even realizing it. Not horns and red skin, no, they're talking morally, mentally, spiritually. A world where truth collapses, where people worship themselves instead of God or anything higher, where technology replaces faith, where humans stop caring about the soul entirely. A prophecy that humanity would create its own downfall because it forgets what being human means. But here's where it gets even darker. Some versions say the final sign won't be a war or a plague or fire falling from the sky. It will be silence. A moment when the Church, the voice that guided billions for centuries, falls quiet. No guidance, no answers, just absence. Like the world looks for meaning one day and finds nothing there. And maybe, just maybe, that's why the prophecy stays hidden.
Imagine billions waking up tomorrow and hearing, "Hey everyone, according to our secret prophecy, civilization ends soon. Good luck." Yeah, no, that's not going to end well. You thought toilet paper shortages were bad? Try global existential panic. So, the theory goes, the Vatican hides this prophecy not to deceive humanity, but to prevent the chaos it would cause. Sounds noble, right? Unless the prophecy isn't warning about something coming, but something already here. Let's talk about popes for a second. There's an old line attributed to one pope, whispered, not recorded. It goes something like, "If people knew what we know, tomorrow would not come peacefully." Another pope reportedly fainted after reading a sealed prophecy document. And then there are the public hints. Pope Paul VI once said the smoke of Satan had entered the church. Pope Benedict spoke of a dictatorship of relativism consuming society. Pope Francis warned the world was entering a piecemeal world war. Strange statements, unless you assume they've all read the same prophecy. A countdown they can't stop, only manage. Okay, here's a theory you're not going to forget. What if the prophecy isn't about the end of the world, but the end of control? The end of powerful systems, political, financial, religious. A future where authority crumbles and every person becomes their own god and their own destroyer. A world where technology gives humans power without wisdom, knowledge without humility, tools we're not ready for. Look around. Deepfake voices, AI replacing thought, people recording tragedy instead of helping, everyone isolated but always watching. The prophecy might not say the world burns, it might say humanity forgets its soul. That's scarier than fire, honestly. Flames kill bodies, emptiness kills civilizations. And here's the twist no one expects. Some versions say the prophecy ends with hope, that destruction isn't the final chapter, but the reset, that from silence something honest returns. Not religion as we know it, not power structures built by men, but something humble, simple, human again. Almost like the world needs to lose itself to find something real. But let's be honest, nobody outside those hidden Vatican halls knows the truth. Maybe the prophecy exists. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's a metaphor, or maybe it's written in some dusty scroll behind a locked iron gate, read only by trembling popes at midnight. What we do know, humanity has always feared the unknown future. And the institutions that guide billions, they've always guarded information like treasure. Sometimes knowledge is power. Sometimes knowledge is danger. And sometimes knowledge is a prophecy you pray never comes true. So tell me, do you think the Vatican is hiding a world-ending prophecy? Or is the real prophecy already unfolding? Right in front of us, one forgotten human value at a time. Drop your thoughts below. And remember, sometimes the scariest secrets aren't the ones locked away underground. They're the ones we're living through without realizing it.